Hello, custom car enthusiasts, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. In this episode, we're going to do another one of the story missions. So, looks like we basically have a replica of a Corvette here. It's called a Bolt Reptilia. This vehicle has been passed down from generation to generation. When my father was my age, he got it from his father. Unfortunately, my dad never got a driver's license, and the car was set in a barn for all those years. Now that it is passed on to me, I want to restore it to its former glory. Please do whatever you can to make this classic beauty look and drive like a new car again. Alright, so... Yeesh. Alrighty then. I don't do paint work, so I'm guessing I don't have to deal with that. Alright, we have to change oil. Hood, front bumper, rear bumper, right headlight, front right fender. Alright, so we are going to change out parts on it. And then we have to discover what's wrong on the inside. Guessing it's not going to run, so we're just going to move it to lifter A to start with here. And let's go ahead and go in. As I said, it's called a Bolt Reptilia. See these parts again? Hood, front bumper, rear bumper. We'll start with those. Alright, so we need body, Bolt Reptilia. So we need the hood. There's the hood. We need the front bumpers and the rear bumpers. I'm not seeing the rear bumpers right now because I'm seeing the ones for the Infinitum. Looks like basically most of these look like Corvette parts from different years. They probably just didn't have the rights to Corvette whenever they brought this over. And then I believe it's a front right fender I need as well. Let's see here. Rear bumper, front bumper, right headlight, front right fender. Bolt Reptilia bumper. There we go. Just was mixed in with the air parts. Bolt Reptilia light. Right headlight. And then Bolt Reptilia. Just we need the front right fender. Alright. So let's go ahead and remove that. Let's remove that. Remove that. That also. And that. Now let's go to assemble mode and let's put on the new parts that we got. They aren't the right color, but they do look better anyways. I mean, black would not be a bad color for this car in the first place, so not at all upset about that. There we go. Alright. So that should take care of this task. Yep, all that's already done now. Let's get rid of these other parts that we have. Get a few dollars back for them. Alright, now let's open that new hood that we just put on it. And let's go ahead and take a look at this engine. Wow, this engine's really bad. We'll start with the tires, of course, as we always do. Tires look good, actually, so that's good news. Let's see here. I don't believe there's going to be an OBD. No, there is not. Alright, so let's move on to the fuel pressure test. definitely going to pull this engine out and completely disassemble it. Fuel filter and the carburetor both need to be taken out. And the fuel pump probably needs to be replaced as well. Probably I'm gonna replace almost everything on this engine with brand new parts. As we learned with the last story car, even if they look okay-ish, best to replace them. Battery shot, starter shot. And we'll check just with the compression tester just to see here. And pistons are shot as well. Alright, so that's about as bad as it gets. Let's go ahead and get it up in the air so we can see underneath it. Start at the back of the car here just to see how the gas tank is. Looks like the fuel pump and the tank are in good shape. Everything back here actually looks pretty good. It looks like it's mostly going to be engine work that we're going to need to do. So, yeah, everything else looks pretty okay. I mean, gearbox is going to need to be changed, it looks like, as well. But that's fine. We're going to have to take it off in order to get to the engine. It's going to need a new starter. Alright. Let's go ahead and lower it down. While it's lowering down, we'll get the crane over here. I probably could throw the entire engine into the trash, but you know what? We'll go ahead. Oh, forgot to drain the engine oil out. My mistake. See if I can get around with this still here. Let's go ahead and move this. There we go. Drain that engine oil, please. That looks a little bit dirty there. Alright, so we got that drained. Notice how we never actually take that anywhere. We just drain it in there, and that thing seems to be able to take all the engine oil we could possibly give it. Alright, now let's pull out the engine. Perfect. Let's go ahead and move this back to where it goes. We'll put the engine onto the stand here. There we go. Before we get to the engine though, radiator looks okay, but that brake servo does not. So we're going to take that off as well. Oh, and it did say the battery was also bad, I believe, so we'll get that out of there. I think we got everything then. Alright. On to the disassembly of the engine. Get these ignition wires out of the way. The air filter cover. The air filter. The base. Carburetor. All this is just absolute scrap metal at this point. And we will go ahead and replace it all, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, I am a huge Corvette fan. It was one of the first cars I fell in love with when I was a kid. So for me, getting to work on what is basically a Corvette here, I'm happy about it. I'm looking forward to rebuilding this engine to the glory that it should be. As I said, the only pieces we're going to keep are as if they are 100%. Otherwise, everything is getting replaced. We're going to have a full engine rebuild with this one. It's going to be great. Very excited for it, actually. Not even worried if I make some money off of it or not. Just looking forward to doing this. Like, so far I see this rocker arm here. This one rocker arm might be the one piece I would keep out of everything so far, because it looked pretty much like it was 100%. Oh, and these valve push rods here, these two look like they could be alright. So we might keep those. to tell. This exhaust manifold, all joking aside, might actually be worth keeping. We'll have to see. Alright. Head back here, because all of this looks like it's going to be scrap metal as well. I mean, it is what happens when a car is sat for as long as this has. You could, in theory, use some of this again, but again, with a car like this, I want it to be all shiny and new. So I'm going to go the extra mile with it. A couple of these rocker arms might actually be usable again. That's about it, but you never know. Alright, that's off. The ignition coil is off. Let's move to the front here. Get the belt off. Alright. Get the timing chain off. The gear. Now we're going to go ahead and rotate this. So that way we can get some access to the bottom here. Take this oil pan off. That way we can pull the pistons, which we know need to be replaced. So this isn't really a question. All this is coming off. It's going to be so nice in the next episode to see all this just shiny and new being put back in. This is sort of going to hint at what I want to do with the cars that I'm going to rebuild that are sort of, I guess I would call them my cars in the future here in the game. Because I know I can find some in like barns and things of that nature. And the ones that I find, I'm going to go ahead and rebuild to the way I want them rebuilt, not just the bare minimum. Alright, there we go. Everything's been taken off. Let's see if that takes care of everything now. So we've replaced the body parts. Those are taken care of. We will change the oil. Now let's see here. Is there anything? Oh, the brake servo. Alright, we did pull that. So yeah, everything else looks like it's all engine related. Yeah, so we're just going to basically, in between now and the next episode, I'm going to go ahead and purchase all the different engine components and stuff that I need. And that way in the next episode, we can go ahead and completely rebuild the engine, put it back in, and we are without a question going to take this on the test path so we can hear that engine turn over. For now, though, if you enjoyed what I did in this episode, please go ahead and click that like button. And if you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you all again for more Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.